Hello everyone. Now we are going to just discuss history of epidemiology. Epidemiology was first coined by Hippocrates. He concerned about airs, waters, and places. Hippocrates' idea that disease might be associated with physical environment. His idea is, and he's father of medicine and the first epidemiologist. And the second type of scientist is Thomas Sidney. He recognized as the founder of clinical medicine and epidemiology, emphasized detailed observation of patients and accurate record keeping. He designed first experiments to use concurrently treated control group. The third one is John Grant. John Grant is an Englishman attributed to the most important advance in epidemiology. He published natural and political observations on the bills of mortality. He was the first to quantify patterns of births, deaths, disease occurrence, noting male births outnumbered female births, urban deaths outnumbered rural deaths, and high infant mortality rate and seasonal variations. These all are attributed by John Grant. And the fourth one is Edouard General. Jenner pioneered clinical trials for vaccination to control spread of smallpox. Vaccination against smallpox wiped out the disease during 1970s. Jenner's work influenced by many others, including Louis Pasteur, who developed vaccines against rabies and other infectious diseases. And importantly, Jenner pioneered hand washing to help prevent the spread of septic infections in mothers following birth. And the very important scientist is John Snow. John Snow is considered to be the father of epidemiology, and he carefully mapping the cholera cases in East London during cholera epidemic of 1854. So he traced the source of the epidemic of cholera to single well on Broad Street that had been contaminated by sewage. So the cause of rising cholera cases are due to the contamination of single well by sewage. So identification of these conditions for cholera case are opens the new way for epidemiology. The other topic is application or use of epidemiology. Epidemiology used to study the history of disease, community diagnosis, to look at risk of individuals as the affect groups or populations, and used for also assessments, evaluation, and research. Used for also completing the clinical picture, identifying syndromes, and to determine the cause and source of disease. So we can summarize that the ultimate purpose of epidemiology is to prevent and the control of disease in an effort to improve the health status of the population. This can be realized that to elucidate the natural history of disease, to describe the status of the population, and to establish the determinants and cause of disease. Finally, used to evaluate the intervention. So, if you identify or if you apply something intervention for the disease, then we will evaluate whether that intervention works or not. So these fours can be described as this. The other topic is scopes of epidemiology. So this scopes tells us how the epidemiology or the scope or the function of epidemiology comes from the earlier or the ancient time to the current or to the recent time. So originally epidemiology is concerned with the investigation and the management of epidemics of communicable disease. Then epidemiology was extended to the epidemic communicable disease and non-communicable infectious disease. Recently epidemiology can be applied to all diseases and other health related events like infectious and non-infectious disease, injuries and accidents, nutritional deficiencies, mental disorders, maternal and child health, congenital anomaly, cancer, occupational health, environment.